What's going on, traders? Welcome to another episode of FX Hangout. Please make sure, if you haven't already, like and subscribe to this channel, and make sure that you look at the disclaimer in the next slide. Let's get started. So we are about to get started. I said I'm gonna give a few more minutes, probably like 5 more minutes. see if we get some more people in. And we're just gonna, like I said, we're gonna talk about trending markets. The reason why I draw up these lines, how important it is to try to always identify trend. And we're going to talk about some of the trades that I took or that we took last night leading up to the day. You know, this is one of, by the way, one of the trades that we took and currently in right now. And we're going to talk about NU, some of the things that it did. As y'all can see, it massively in the profit. For those that hung in there, even if you got, like we was talking about last night, even if you got stopped out, still track the trade, because look what happened. It literally went out, stopped us out, and then threw this mean engulfing candlestick, and then boom. So we're just going to talk about structure, support, and resistance, being able to find that, and how this EMA really helps out for us with identifying, helping with identifying your trend. That's all it's there for. A lot of people, they utilize EMAs for to identify like, oh, this is going to be a pullback, or this is going to be an entry. But really, what you should be always utilizing them for is just for confirmation. That's what they're there for. All right, so we're going to talk about that in a few minutes. All right. So again, tonight we're going to just be talking briefly a little bit about structure. This is something that y'all should already know about, and should really be able to understand and identify. Again, if you do not understand this, ladies and gentlemen, you do not understand trading. This is literally life. This is key. This is everything about trading: price action, structure, support and resistance, highs and lows. Understanding what price action does. All right, it cannot literally only do 3 things. All right, it can go up, it can go down, it can it can consolidate, do a consolidated market, and then it could do setups to where it could reverse. That's it. That's it. There's nothing else than that. So it's very important to be able to identify that. So we're looking at this, and the reason why I wanted to look clearly at this particular pair is because we can see a clear trend. Everybody can see the trend on this, correct? For the most part, right? We know that it's going up, but see, for the most part, people will see this and be like, "Oh, this is an uptrend." They'll just put their trend line right here and just say, "Oh, it's just going up. I see clearly it's going up." But how did it get there? Like, what was the process in it getting there? It didn't just go straight up. And even though in our mind and our mental, we know that it's not going just straight up. We know that in our mental, but well, we know that by our eyes. We see that with our eyes, but in our mental state, we don't perceive that. We don't get that. If I were to tell you, okay, to find every high and find every low, it would take you a while to find it, right? I should say major highs and major lows. That's what I should say. But if I were to do it, I would have been like, okay, that one, that's a low, that's a high, and that's a low, and then so on and so forth. So again, when identifying the highs and the lows, you have to think of, always have to give yourself a rule base, right? There's a rule base with all of these, okay? And I literally just posted a video on this in your back office, talking about how to read price action. All right. So what qualifies as an uptrend? An uptrend has two properties to qualify it for an uptrend. First, you have to have a break of previous high. You have to have a pullback that does not only respect the previous high, but also does not break the previous low. All right. So again, those two commonalities, those two rules of an uptrend is it must break previous structure high, which it did over here, looking to the left. It must pull back and not break previous structure low. So if that is the case, and this is my low, or you can even say this is my low, whatever you want to do, the market can literally pull back here, or it can pull all the way back here and still be considered an uptrend. Why? Because it has not broken the previous low. So it can pull back all the way right here and then continue to the upside. Is everybody following me? Did everybody write down those rules? In an uptrend, again, so that way you can write it down. In order for it to be considered an uptrend, it must first break previous structure high. Then, when it pulls back, it cannot break previous structure low.
Are you getting earplugs?
Hold on, and you cannot break previous structure low. So again, when it pulls back, it can come back here, or it can come back all the way over here. And as long as it doesn't break this previous structure low, we're still good for an uptrend. So we notice here how we have this pulls back, it doesn't break this structure or this structure. What happens? Shoots off to the next high. Pulls back again. Does not break. It breaks structure high. That was the first confirmation. And it does not break structure low. Second confirmation. These are rules. That's the rules on the trending market. Those are rules on the trending market. That's it. On an uptrend. What happens again? Movement to the upside. Breaks previous structure high. Right? It breaks previous structure high. Does not take out previous structure low. Now notice with this market, it consolidated. This will happen. All right. This is what we call a channel or a flag. But in that video that I made in the back office, I talk about how you'll find that with those three different ways price action can move, there's also entry reasons as well. Those entry reasons are either a breakout, a retest, or a retrace. And if you look at this now, the market is still pulling back. It's still doing this. Pulled back in the channel. And then what it did was it broke out to the upside, continued up, continued up. Into this structure. So what we know about this currently right now, it broke structure high and it's pulling back, right? So right now, this is still considered an uptrend, even though it's going down. We're just playing, and we have played this. We played it to the downside. We played what is what is called the retracement. We played the retracement because we saw that this market was going to go down a little bit. But is this a downtrend? Is this a downtrend? Even though it's going down right now, is this a downtrend? No, it's not a downtrend. Why is it not a downtrend? It's because in order for it to be a downtrend, it must break previous structure low. This would be that structure low. Let me get rid of all this. This right here would be the structure low. This is the lowest point that it could come to before going to the upside. If it breaks this point, if it breaks structure low, that is when we can start processing in our mind to possibly, again, I repeat, possibly look for signs of a reversal. It is not until then. So yes, it's going down. Yes, yes, it's pulling back, but until it breaks structure low, that's when we have that. So again, those are the rules that you should have in an uptrend. Downtrend is you flip it in reverse. That's all it is. You just flip it in reverse. So let's look at an actual downtrend. We can actually look at Euro Chief. Euro Chief is that downtrend. Look at this. We have low. That low was broken right here. See how this low right here is lower than this low? It pulled back. It did not take out the previous high every single time. Well, let me go ahead and redo this so that way y'all can see it. We got our low point, right? In a downtrend, we must see lower low. That's the first rule. It must break previous structure low. Always, that's the first rule. That's the rule that y'all need to make sure y'all written down. Once it has broken structure low, we wait for the retest. In the retest, it cannot break structure high, previous structure high. It can come all the way back to it, but it cannot break it. It cannot break it. And did it break it? No, it did not. And then what happened? Drops again. Once again, following our first rule, in order for this to be a continuation of a downtrend, we have to see structure, previous structure low broken. Do we have that? Yes, we do. Check that off. Secondly, after the retrace, does it pass previous structure low or previous structure high? No, it does not. So we know what? Continuation to the downtrend. Boom. Breaks it once again. The reason why I draw these little lines right here, is so that way y'all can see where the candlestick is, where the previous low candlestick is, and where the new low candlestick is. Y'all see how this low broke that low? That's all that matters. If it broke it, if we have a candlestick close below the previous low, that's a broken structure. So it don't matter if it's one or two candlesticks. If that candlestick closes below or above previous structure high or low, that is a new low. Comes back up. Does it break previous structure high? No, it doesn't. And then what this does after that? Drops down, creates a new low. Now it pulls back. Pulls back. It passes this structure low. This structure high, but it does not pass this structure high and falls right back in to this structure high. So because we have that, we have reason to believe that this area is a whole structure point. It's still a downtrend. We haven't fully had a break, because the simple fact is, when it broke it, it came right back in it. So because of that, we know that we're still maintaining the structure in the trend of a downtrend. Not only that, but we still have this push to the downside, push back up, did not break that low. That high. Push down, push back up, it did not break that high, and it's still respecting highs. And if it's respecting highs, what does that mean? Downtrend, people. Downtrend. Trend is easy. If you understand trend, you take away half the battle of being an unprofitable trader. It is very simple. Where people go wrong is the patience of waiting for the confirmation to enter. That's where we go. That's where it goes wrong. For instance, something like this. We can clearly see that we have a downtrend, right? This again. Low. High. Did it break this previous high point? No. Then we got a new low. So now we have new structure low right here. That's our first confirmation. Now we have pullback, and all we need to see, will this pullback break this structure low? If it does not break that structure, that structure high, if it does not break that structure high, what do we have, people? Continuation of the trend. It can pull back right here, turn around, and then go down, or it can go all the way back up here and then turn around and go down. But either way, until we have a break of a high, retest, and then this, that's when we consider a reversal. Only when we have this 1, 2, 3 do we think that is a reversal. Well, Adrian, that's too much weight. That's a lot of waiting. I would rather wait though than lose a trade. I would rather wait and be right than lose a trade. Did we lose the trades last night? Yes, but that was entirely because of I didn't put an appropriate stop loss. It wasn't that I was wrong about the direction. It was just that the stop loss was off. That's all it was. The direction was clear. We would have won those if the stop loss was a little bit further. But I wasn't confused on the direction. That's where everybody's at right now. There's that confusion of understand where is this market going? Like I think it's going up, but I'm not sure. Well, if you have these rules now, it shouldn't be no confusion. If you zoom out enough to see what's going on, there shouldn't be no confusion. You should know when there's a clear trend or when there's a consolidated market. It's like with this market going down, there was times of consolidation and breakout, right? We got this right here. But then if you look at this, you can almost say that this was almost like a, now this one wasn't really consolidation. This was clear. But this was definitely consolidation right here. Right? And then we broke out further for the pullback into more consolidation. And then finally we had what? Break to the downside. All of this is part of the process. It even happened over here. But what was it still maintaining? It was still maintaining structure the whole way down. And tell you the truth, I would move that home. Let me fix this. It still maintains structure the whole way down. So, like I said, this wasn't going to be a long video because this is stuff that we already should know about. But I just wanted to spend time just to kind of talk about this because it's very important to understand how powerful structure is when you find a trending market. It's just simply just waiting for that market to play out the way that you need to play out. Even looking at this one, this is a messy market. You can already see that this is kind of like almost like consolidation, right? And it just broke out. Looked like it finally tried to break out. But literally playing high and low points. But it's up to you to be able to identify these things. You have to be able to identify these. And then what you are, it's a powerful tool. Powerful tool. This market, can anybody tell? Everybody should be able to tell this market, right? With this one, we was having an uptrend. Was going up, and now you're getting ready to challenge this. So it lets me know that, okay, now that we're here, we want to see what's going to happen next. Again, we cannot say that this is a reversal until it breaks that low. Once it breaks that low, it has to do a 1, 2, 3 move, meaning that 1, break the low, 2, retest the high, not break the high, and then 3, back down. Now, once it does that, that's when we can be like, okay, yep, now we're ready to go here and look for reversal. We can say that this is a reverse market. And at that point, wait for retest the structure, wait for a breakout, and you continue to the downside. But that's all structure is. Same thing with this. Can you follow the trend now? You see that this is a downtrend, right? And you see how every time we have, I get rid of this, on our way down, we have new lows. And the reason why I did this low instead of this low is because this was all part of the structure. If y'all look at this, this is all part of that. So it wasn't really a new low until it broke that. That makes sense. Hopefully it made sense. All of this back here was a part of the same low, even that there. So it wasn't a new low until it broke it right there. It pulls up into structure again, comes back down and creates a new low. So we have this. Well, Adrian, it came back and found support off of that same area. Yeah, it did. But did it break previous structure high? Again, stick to your rules. Write those rules down. If it did not break previous structure high, what are we in? We are still in a downtrend. And then if you look at this, this is all consolidation. Consolidated market. We break out. Now this is our new low. This was the previous low. Pull back. More consolidation. Break down. Into more consolidation. But it created a new low. Everybody see that? Hopefully this is, awakening some aha moments, and now we have new structure low. What do you think has to happen? Pull back, retest, continuation to the downside, or we can possibly see reversal. Trading is simple. We just make it difficult. We don't want to wait and be patient. We don't point out the obvious. I'm going to do one more and then I'm going to get off. So way up, you can pretty much tell the trends. You can see like the little trends inside the trends, right? And then you can see the bigger picture trend, hopefully, over this. See how we got move to the downside, flag formation, move to the downside, flag formation, move to the downside. So all of this starts to make sense. It starts to add up. And that's all I wanted to do. I wanted to show this to y'all so that way y'all can see it live for yourself. And now that you do, it's time to put it to use. It's time to put it to work. So like I said, I hope this was a big help for some people. This will be in the back office. It will be recorded. And if y'all have any questions at all about this or any of the new videos that I put in your back office, please make sure you reach out to me. And yeah, we'll go ahead and do a one-on-one or whatever and get you going. Does anybody have any questions right now? All right. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get off of here. I hope you folks have a good one. And till next time, like I said, if y'all have any questions, please reach out to me. All right.